WarRoomSports.com. Get that mobile app.
What's good, everybody out there in War Room World? Welcome to another edition of Inside the War Room. This is actually the entertainment edition. And tonight, we're speaking Oscars. We're going to give you guys basically a pre-Oscar show. We're going to analyze some of the movies, the actors, the directors, and what have you. Me and my man Jimmy here with a Black Cisco and Ebert.
Yes,
Rest
sir.
in peace. Shout out to those guys. Let's jump right into it, man. The 2013 Oscars will be here in a little while, so we want to get our picks to you guys. And notice that I did say picks. I did not say predictions. We're giving you our picks, who we would vote for if we had votes. We're not trying to predict who those guys are going to pick, so, you know, kill all that. But anyway, let's get right into it. We're going to take the major categories and let you guys know what we thought about the actors in these categories, the films in these categories, and most importantly, we're going to give you our picks. But before we get to the majors, I got to do two, just because, you know, I'm a fairly new father here, so I got to do these two categories because I was basically forced to see these movies because I have a 2-year-old. And that first category is music. And I say, you know, I mention my child when I talk about the music because 2 of the songs are from animated films. So in the music category, we have 5 nominees. We have Happy, of course, from Despicable Me 2. Everybody knows that song by Pharrell. We have Let It Go from the movie Frozen. We have the Moon Song from one of our favorite movies, Her. And we have Ordinary Love from Mandela Long Walk Home. I've actually heard all 5 of these songs, but 2 of these songs I've heard ad nauseum. Happy, because it's on the radio every time you turn it on. And also my son just got a hold of that song, so when he gets a hold of something, he plays it back to back to back, and he keeps requesting it. Let It Go from Frozen is another one, because after we saw Frozen, his mom put him down with the soundtrack, so he hears. This is actually a song that she loops for him at night while he's sleeping, and I hear it through the baby monitor. So I know the words to both of these songs. So in that category, I'm actually going to go with Let It Go from Frozen. Happy, Jimmy, is the type of song that I'd give a Grammy to, but not really the Oscar, because you know how usually when you win an Oscar for a song, the song ties directly into the plot of the movie. And Happy, I get that. Even though I've seen Despicable Me 2, I think Happy kind of ties in just to a certain scene, not really to the entire plot. I'm pretty sure people will beg to differ.
Happy is out of control because, first off, if you don't like the song Happy, then you're satanic. That's one. Before I even get started, man, I just got to say, for everybody watching this wondering why we're talking about this, because first of all, we can, because it's about culture. And I'm also qualified to talk about the AVN Awards. And another thing is, you know what I mean? Because we're doing the Oscars, I went and got a little, lined up. Make sure you look right. It ain't Ralph though. But with that being said, though, I get your point. But you see, again, we're doing our picks and not what we think they're going to do, because Happy may win everything everywhere this year.
Yeah. Because if we're talking what we think they're going to do, like, I have a feeling that this has a chance to be like the Black Oscars. You know, you got 12 Years a Slave and the 2 actors nominated there. You got Pharrell with the song Happy. It might be one of those years where they decide to throw black people a bone and let us win everything. In this one, I'm gonna go with
throwing us a bone. FOH.
I'm gonna go with Let It Go from the animated movie Frozen, because like I said, it ties into the whole theme of the movie, kind of like the whole Eminem song when he won it. It ties into the entire theme and not just something you throw on in a certain scene. Plus, Pharrell did like 5 songs for that soundtrack for Despicable Me 2. So I think that kind of cheapens it a little bit, because he just threw 5 up there and said one of these, I might do something with it. So let's go quickly to the animated feature films. The first one's The Croods, Despicable Me 2, Ernest and Celestine, Frozen, and The Wind Rises. And I've seen 3 of these movies, having a 2-year-old. I've seen The Croods, Despicable Me 2, and Frozen. And again, I'm going to go with Frozen as the best animated film. These aren't majors, so I'm not going to spend a lot of time on telling you guys why. I just had to do that little segment to give a shout out to my kid. He might watch that. All right, Jimmy, so let's get into what we're here to do. And we're going to start the major categories off with Best Director. The nominees in this category, of course, David O. Russell, American Hustle, Alfonso Cuarón, Gravity, Alexander Payne, Nebraska, Steve McQueen, 12 Years a Slave, and Martin Scorsese, probably my favorite director of all time, for The Wolf of Wall Street. What did you think about, the directing jobs in these movies? Like, what's making you lean whatever way you're leaning?
All right, well, I'll give my pick. I think that 12 Years a Slave and Steve McQueen will win this award. This is my pick for the award. Not only do I think they will win, I think this is my pick. Like you, Martin Scorsese is my favorite director, but I had a lot of issues with The Wolf of Wall Street. I think it was an excellent film. I enjoyed it tremendously, but I don't think it was his best work. David O. Russell did a great job with American Hustle as well. I don't even want to speak on Gravity. I got some words for that, and we'll talk about that later. But in terms of the best director, a job of directing, I think that Steve McQueen did an excellent job with 12 Years a Slave. That would be my pick for the best director.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not going to sit here in front and act like I know everything about what goes into directing a movie. But funny, because you said you had some words for Gravity. I actually do too, but in a different category. As far as directors go, I actually think that's where the strength of this movie lies. So I'm actually going to go with Alfonso Cuarón. I'm always not able to pronounce somebody's name, man. Alfonso C. For Gravity. I'm going to go with him in that category.
The power in that movie was the green screen. FOH to Alfonso and that whole movie.
But I still think like acting and directing in front of a green screen is still a task. Because,
I think
you don't have a lot of cues
I totally get that, but I don't want to give that movie any award ever.
Sounds like we don't have a Gravity fan here.
Not at all, yo.
All right. Damn it. This was one of the hardest categories for me coming up. Actress in a supporting role. So, Best Supporting Actress. We have some bombshells here. We have Sally Hawkins for Blue Jasmine, Julia Roberts for August, Osage County, Jennifer Lawrence for American Hustle, Lupita Nyong'o for 12 Years a Slave, and June Squibb from Nebraska. What are your thoughts on some of the performances in this category?
And by the way, I've seen all these movies, but this definitely was one. Lupita, shout out to Lupita. You know what I mean? Trying to get that soap. Well, he's trying to stay clean, baby. I get it. Julia Roberts can win every year because she's Julia Roberts, but I'm definitely going with June Squibb. I told you earlier when we were talking a little bit about this, I think she was excellent. I thought she was hilarious. I enjoyed her performance, and I'm a fan of June Squibb because of this movie.
Yeah, I thought June Squibb. There were several real comedians in the movie Nebraska, but June Squibb was the light of the movie. She was the funniest thing going in this movie. I really thought Nebraska was a really good movie, and it was surprising to me that it was so good. But she really was the light of the movie, man. I can't I rave over her performance as well. For me, it was between Squibb, Jennifer Lawrence, and Lupita Nyong'o. I was leaning a little towards Lupita, but I found myself raving so much at Jennifer Lawrence's performance in American Hustle because I think in this movie, I think she was like a scene stealer. It was like every scene
she definitely was.
She was in, she made the scene.
I agree with that. And it's funny you say that because me and shout out to Monica because we watch a lot of these movies, and we had a conversation, and I told her that the best actors in American Hustle were Jennifer Lawrence and Amy Adams. To me, I said the two women stole the movie, in my opinion, if you want to talk about acting. Those were the two best. So I totally get that. But again, this is one of them things where we go back to what we said in the beginning. It's not about who we think they'll pick. This is our picks. So if it's our picks, I'm going with June Squibb. But I totally get your point with Jennifer Lawrence because she definitely was. But also Lupita. Shout out to Lupita because
that's what I'm saying. Shout out to everybody in the category. This was the last category that I chose. The supporting actress and Best Actress were the two most difficult categories for me. But I think with this one, I'm gonna go with Jennifer Lawrence, man.
Yeah, can't go wrong.
Yeah, she impresses me every time she goes out now. I mean, she won an Oscar last year for damn, slips my mind. The movie about the Eagles fan.
Yeah, that jump.
Yeah, that. She won for that one, and I thought she was really good then. But it's like I said, every time she goes out, she impresses me even more. And this girl is only like 22, 23 years old.
Yeah, she's sick.
So she definitely has a bright future. I'm gonna go with her in a slim margin over Nyong'o on this one, and June Squibb, like you said, she's right there. And my voting as well, man, because she made Nebraska what it was.
And the funny thing is, if she wins, I think I'll be disappointed because she's going to go up there as June Squibb and not her character. I would like to see her character. Like, who the hell are you? I want to see her character win the award just to go buck wild.
Yeah. And I'm a sucker for accents too. Jennifer Lawrence had a nice little accent.
I even know it was crazy.
Yeah, she was getting a little ghetto fugazi accent on. All right, let's go to supporting actor. In this category, we had Barkhad Abdi from Captain Phillips. We got Bradley Cooper, another actor on the rise in American Hustle. Michael Fassbender for 12 Years a Slave Master. We had Jonah Hill, Wolf of Wall Street, and we had Jared Leto for Dallas Buyers Club. Now, this was another one for me.
It's tough.
I don't think it wasn't tough all the way around. But I had a top two that I was basically, going back and forth. Now, I think everybody had a brilliant performance. You wouldn't be nominated in these categories if you weren't good in what you did. I hear Michael Fassbender is the front runner right now as it speaks. This stuff kind of changes day to day as the Academy Awards approach. But shout out to Jonah Hill, man. Like, Jonah Hill, for me, he's shown me something in his last few serious projects as well. Because, he was introduced to us in, the silly comedies. Mm-hmm. And he's starting to show me a whole lot of range. And I thought his character and his performance in The Wolf of Wall Street was very, very good. However, with The Wolf of Wall Street being sort of a light comedy, he was still a little bit in his element. So I'm actually going to go with Jared Leto because I just feel like his role was probably he was very versatile in this role. I mean, first of all, the dude had to play a gay, transgender, AIDS patient. Throughout the movie, he went through the gamut of emotions. He was a drug addict. He was hopeful as far as, living. And then as the story went on, he had to show some emotion because he started to lose hope a little bit. Mm-hmm. So, the whole scene with his father, I think he did a really good job, and I think the role was really versatile. So I'm going to go with Jared Leto of Dallas Buyers Club.
Now, for me, with this category, I had a top three. I want to start off by saying I think Jared Leto will win. But again, this is our pick. My pick is Smoke Some Crack With Me, bro. Jonah Hill.
Jonah is doing his thing, wasn't he?
Smoke Some Crack With Me, bro. Listen, Jonah Hill was amazing. And it's kind of what you said, the way he was introduced to us, and for him to be able to make the transition and show versatility.
This quickly, too.
It's funny because we talk movies as much as we talk sports or anything else, and I was arguing with someone the other day in reference to Robin Williams. And it's kind of the same thing. When someone's introduced to me in a comedic role, but then I see him still scenes as a serious actor, I always, give them props for that. But Jonah Hill is definitely getting better, and I think he deserves a win for The Wolf of Wall Street. That's my pick. Now, everything you said about Jared Leto was correct, which is why he'll probably win. But, smoke some crack with me, bro. Jonah Hill.
Jonah was great in that. I mean, Michael Fassbender, of course, played the villain because he was a slave master, and he was, you had your quote-unquote nice slave masters, and then you had Michael Fassbender's character.
Yeah, that you know what I'm saying? Plus, he dissed his wife for the black yam, so he did an amazing job too. Those are my top three.
Yeah. Like for me, I think Bradley Cooper is definitely an actor on the rise, but I don't think there was anything special in his American Hustle performance. I don't think he left Bradley Cooper too much to play that role. But props to all 5 of the guys in this category, man.
Yeah.
But Jonah Hill, he definitely
Man,
stole a lot of the show.
when it comes to the Academy Awards, though, like just being nominated is a win already, though.
Yeah. I mean, because look at who I think the female GOAT is. You know, she gets nominated every year, and when's the last time she actually won? And if y'all don't know who that is, that's Meryl Streep. I think she's the greatest of all time on the female side of things. She probably has like 78 nominations and like 2 Oscars. But
That's crazy.
All right, so let's move on to actress in a leading role. This was another one that was really difficult for me. How'd you see the performances in this category?
All right, so for Best Actress, I have Amy Adams. It's kind of what you said about Jennifer Lawrence, but I have Amy Adams actually winning this award because, like, she's tremendously talented. I saw her in her last couple movies, and I'm like, damn, like, because it's funny because there's another movie coming out. It hasn't come out yet, and I said she'd be perfect for this role. But every time I watch her perform, like, she's still seen. So for me, I have Amy Adams. Sandra Bullock, even though I can't stand the movie, I could see why she's nominated because we talked about how difficult it is to. When you think about that movie, like, it was literally 2 people in the whole movie, wasn't it? Like her and George Clooney.
Right. That's why I call this movie Sandra Bullock's castaway moment. You know, a lot of good actors get that castaway moment. Tom Hanks had to play 75%, 80% of that movie by himself. Will Smith had his in I Am Legend. You know, it might not rank up there with these 2 performances of these 2, movies, but that was his castaway moment. So I think Gravity is her castaway moment. And
I think I could see, but get it. My pick is Amy Adams, but I could see Sandra Bullock winning. But also, Judi Dench. I thoroughly enjoyed Philomena. It pissed me off.
I love that movie. I love that.
It had me pissed. Like, FOH to the Catholic Church. My apologies for anybody watching, but that movie had me pissed, yo.
Yeah. I think she played a really good role. She was kind of like that. She was an old lady who didn't seem like she was the brightest bulb, in the bunch, but when you didn't think she was getting things, she really was, and she played that really well. You know what I'm saying? She was very believable in that role. But that movie to me was another surprise. I didn't know how much I was going to dig Philomena, but she was really good in that.
Who's your pick though?
Like you said, if we're predicting, I think Kate Blanchett might have something to say about it in the end. Sandra Bullock might have something to say about it in the end. And my pick was between Bullock and Amy Adams. I'm like you. I went with Amy Adams, but this was after a lot of back and forth because I kept trying to talk myself out of it because I raved so much about Jennifer Lawrence's performance in this and noted how every time she was in a scene, she kind of stole the scene, and when she wasn't in the scene, you wanted to see her in the scene,
Yeah.
But Amy Adams, in my opinion, I think the reason why I was kind of hesitant on this pick is because this movie had so many stars in the cast. Her role really could have been a supporting role. You know what I'm saying? But
True.
I can't knock her for what they nominated for. I can only go on her performance. And she was Amy Adams playing a character who was also playing another character in the movie with the British accent. So, the fact that she basically had to get into 2 different characters, I was really digging that. I thought she had a great performance. So I'm with you on that one. I'm going to go with Amy Adams as the best actress. But, shout out to all 5 women in this category because they're definitely heavyweights. And Sandra, I think she was great in her moment. But like you said about Gravity,
the fix is that they're gonna give it to Sandra Bullock. That's what they're gonna do. They like that BS. They're gonna give it to Sandra Bullock. But for me, again, this is our picks. I'm taking Amy Adams.
I think it was more her than the movie, though. It was kind of like, remember Will Smith played Ali? I thought he did great as Ali. I just didn't think the movie was what it should have been with all the time they had to make it.
Yeah.
Let's go to the actor side. Actors in a leading role. In this category, we have Christian Bale, American Hustle. We have Bruce Dern, Nebraska. Leonardo DiCaprio, My Young Buck, The Wolf of Wall Street. Chiwetel Ejiofor, 12 Years a Slave, and Matthew McConaughey for Dallas Buyers Club. First of all, Jimmy, Leo DiCaprio, he's consistent, man.
Yo,
Like
he after this performance, he's in my top 5. Yo,
yo,
dead or
Leo
alive,
never lets me
Leo.
down. Leo never
Leo.
lets me down.
And I hated Leo initially just because he looked like he was in a boy band. But yo,
Yeah, he
I
never
bangs
lets
with
you.
Leo now. Pause. But Leo is definitely he's in my top 5. He's amazing.
Yeah, I think Christian Bale. I think he went way out of character, to play this role. I liked him in American Hustle. Bruce Dern, like I said, everything about Nebraska was I was positively, surprised,
Yeah.
including his performance. Chiwetel, 12 Years a Slave. He's another one who's becoming a heavyweight in the game. When we talk about black actors, everybody talks about Denzel Washington, of course.
His overrated ass.
We talk about Don Cheadle a lot because we think he's, probably above Denzel. A lot of people aren't going to agree with us on
they're
that.
gonna hate that, yo. Don Cheadle's the best black actor working right now. You know what I'm saying?
And then now you got Chiwetel climbing up that ladder as well. I think he had a great performance. Like when you play in a movie about slavery, like I don't know, it's one of those things like you have to get a heavyweight because you can't do a movie like that and not have somebody that's going to give you a great performance and dig deep into the character.
Yeah, he killed it. He killed it.
My pick on this one is Matthew McConaughey from Dallas Buyers Club. This dude, like his role, like when I spoke about Jared Leto earlier, like his role wasn't as complex as Jared Leto's, but he was great with what he did, and he dove deep into this character all the way down to the weight loss because, I don't want to say that Matthew McConaughey looked like an AIDS patient, but from our perception of what they were supposed to look like back then, that's what he looked like. Or I could just say he looked like a crackhead. I mean, you got to remember, this is Matthew McConaughey. This is dude that the ladies love. But in this movie, he was like 100 pounds. He looked like he was about 70 years old in the face.
Yo, he looked like Andrew Beckett in this role.
Yeah, and he's going away from his early performances in his career, more of the action type stuff, and he's really coming into his own with his acting chops because I actually thought he was great in The Wolf of Wall Street, considering that his role was only 5-10 minutes long.
Yeah,
I thought he was great in that movie. I thought like had he had a longer role in that movie, he could have been up for supporting actor as well.
Listen,
I love this role in Dallas Buyers Club, man.
In my opinion, and it's funny. I gotta say this, by the way. We didn't talk about our picks before we came on because we have a lot of the same picks. I also have Matthew McConaughey as being the best actor. Yo, he's another dude that after this year or last year, he's in my top 5 now. Like between this, his HBO show, and the Wolf of Wall Street, like yo, Matthew McConaughey is sick with it. Like this dude, like digs deep. Like he becomes whoever. Yo, you gotta check out his HBO show, Woody Harrelson. Like he's out of control. Like I think dude is crazy. He's on some old Johnny Depp type stuff where, yo, he can play anything, man. And I think he was amazing in his role in Dallas Buyers Club. He looked like Andrew Beckett. Shout out to Tom Hanks from Philadelphia, because with the weight loss and all that.
I think besides the fact that he is from Texas, I don't think there was any traces of Matthew McConaughey in this character. And that's what you want in an actor. You know what I'm saying? You don't want the actor to make every role into, his personal, persona. You want the actor to go outside of his box and, just dive deep into whatever role he's playing. And I think he did that. Like I said, the accent wasn't anything difficult for him because he is from Texas. Yeah. But everything else, like you said, his performance was amazing. And I want to give an honorable mention shout out on this list for somebody who didn't get nominated. I gotta give Joaquin Phoenix a shout out for her.
Yo, I was shocked by that.
Yeah, because first of all, the screenplay for her, the writing, it was just weird. The concept was weird, even though the concept was realistic. I think with technology that could possibly happen. I think it was really weird. and he plays weird very well. I also think that he looked like Leonard from The Big Bang Theory. This joint, and nobody's giving him credit for his look. But no, I just want to give him an honorable mention shout out. Since
Yo, I honestly was shocked that he didn't get nominated. After watching the movie, I'm like, how's he not up there? Like, are you serious? But I mean, I guess there's only so many people you could have because everybody, all the nominees were amazing. And I mean, you know,
I was about to say,
who are you going to take off?
You look at the five up there. It's hard to take anybody else. If I was forced, maybe Bruce Dern, the veteran of the bunch.
I'd probably take off either Bruce Dern or Christian Bale just because his hair in that movie. I couldn't take the hair, but it
would be between those two. But I still think those two were really good in their roles.
Oh, they definitely were. That's what I'm saying. You listen. I mean, when you look at it, I think he should have been nominated. But who you going? It's like an all-star team in like in the NBA. It's always going to be somebody snub. Always.
Right. All right. So let's get to the big category of the night, and this for me, unlike years past, I think I've always had a clear-cut favorite in this category. Like, that's the one. That's my pick. Yo, Best Picture, it was really difficult for me because I think there were a lot of good pictures this year.
Don't take my film, man. Don't take my film. I think you're going to pick my...
I'm going to let you go first, but
okay,
I think
cool.
They were all, you know, on the same level. Like, sometimes I'm like, okay, why is that movie in here? Maybe not all of them. There's maybe two that I say, all right, I wouldn't mind if these two dropped out. I enjoyed all of the movies, but maybe two of them could have dropped out of here for me, and I wouldn't have missed them. I mean, before we make the pick, I just wanted to talk about a few of the
Go ahead,
movies.
No doubt. Let's talk about them ish.
Yeah, like I said earlier, Nebraska and Philomena were two of the pleasant surprises for me. I actually saw them the same night on a double feature, and you know, you come out of a double feature, you've been sitting in a movie theater for 4.5, 5 hours, and sometimes you don't come out in a good mood. It was one of those nights where I came out like I saw two really good movies today. Yeah. Like Philomena, you know, brought the drama. It was another true story. It was one of those things like in between movies, because I saw that one first. You know, I had to go to Google, look up the story, you know, to make sure everything was everything. Mm-hmm. Nebraska was hilarious, man. Like, if you look at the cast, you're like, okay, you know, former Saturday Night Live, you would think it's going to be hilarious, but the laughs came from places where you weren't expecting them to come from. It wasn't the actual people you thought that were going to be funny who were carrying the comedy in this movie. Yeah. Captain Phillips, you know, another good role for Tom Hanks.
It was all right.
Yeah, Captain Phillips was... Yeah, Captain Phillips was one of the movies that I refer to, and I say, if it didn't make it, I would have been cool with that. And your favorite, Gravity. Even though I thought Sandra Bullock was spectacular in the movie, I don't necessarily think the movie itself is Best Picture level. However, Jimmy, from what I hear, for everything I've read, everything I've seen, Gravity is the front runner to get this Oscar.
Man, that's and to me that's despicable. That movie was terrible. Let me say it, yo. It was terrible. First off, I fell asleep a couple times. You know what I'm saying? You know, but I seen the whole movie. No, it's not that. Come on, man. Seriously. And then the scene they try to make so dramatic when she stands up. Like, are you serious? Like, I'm supposed to you know what I mean? Put you mad at that? How am I supposed to feel about that? We're shot the same Cassell. But in terms of all these movies, I think it was a lot of great films. I'm with you with the whole Captain Phillips thing. That and Gravity, they could just take them and throw them somewhere. What I did notice is out of these 9 films, 6 of them were based upon true stories. The only ones that weren't were Nebraska, Her, and Gravity. That's it. Everything else is based on, you know.
And we didn't do this category, Jim, but Her, I think they deserve something for writing. Because who thinks...
Absolutely. Listen, man.
Like, Her was crazy, man.
Her was crazy.
System?
Her was crazy. For those that haven't seen Her, you know, Her. But let's just stick to this. Let me give you my pick right now.
How you gonna bang
because again, right, this is not who I think will win. I know that Gravity right now is the favorite. I think 12 Years a Slave will win, but it's not my best picture. Believe it or not, my best picture is Her. And everybody's going to think that I'm crazy for saying that, but I'm going to tell you why. Like, for me, I enjoy writing. I enjoy movies. but I like things that stick to me after I watch it. I've been talking about her since the day I've watched. It's probably the only film.
Me like 60 times.
Yo, yeah, did I? Listen, and the thing is, it's the only film out of all these films that I've been thinking about day in and day out since I've watched it. The writing was amazing. The concept was amazing. The acting was amazing. There's really nothing I can say negative about it.
You're also
I'm also a tech. I'm also a tech head. But it's, to me, it wasn't even about tech. This movie was like, it had so many layers to it. This movie to me was about relationships,
great acting,
societal norms, what we consider normal in society. Because I was sitting there like, yo, how come everybody's accepting of this? But you know, it was based upon the near future. But also
that's the biggest question of the movie, not the fact that he's fallen in love with the operating system, because I actually think that's realistic, and there's probably some noodles out there who do that now with like Siri. But why was his friends accepting it? Like, you don't double date with this man and his. But this is my thing. My thing is, it challenged with societal norms, like what everybody thinks like should happen. Right.
When the operating system talking about, like, you know, for fear of not having a body, the operating system is getting jealous. Then he's getting jealous when the operating system's talking about another operating system. So the whole thing was complex. It was layered. And if you want to get even deeper than that, you want to get even deeper than that. And you look at what's going on culturally in America now, when you talk about people dating what's not normally considered someone they should be dating, you know, people who live the Bosch lifestyle, it's like these are questions that we're dealing with now. And, I mean, the movie is like a little bit further out there than that, but, you know, it brings all these questions in. So, to me, the writing was amazing. The acting was amazing. The directing was amazing. So, for me, that's why I have it as the best picture, because there's really nothing negative I can say about the film.
Right. All right. No, I definitely feel what you're saying. And by the way, Amy Adams is in that movie as well.
That's it. Yeah, she was. Oh, Amy Adams. Amy Adams is that work, yo. Shout out to Amy Adams.
Thing this year.
I'm definitely a fan of her after this year.
She's going to be in a new Superman Batman project coming out in 2016 as Lois Lane, because she was Lois Lane in the Man of Steel.
Yeah.
But back to best picture. Like I said, Dallas Buyers Club was really high on my list. This was one of those difficult categories. Supporting actress, best actress, and best picture were my three hardest categories. And for me, it was between Dallas Buyers Club, 12 Years a Slave, Philomena, and The Wolf of Wall Street. Now, usually, I know that movies that I enjoy the most aren't usually the best movies. You know, I enjoy Above the Rim.
I enjoy
Above the Rim didn't win no Oscar.
I enjoy Belly.
And like, I enjoyed Best Man Holiday, but you know, for all of the people that I did hear say that Best Man Holiday was the best movie of 2013, first of all, this isn't the video for you. Second of all, go kill yourself. Surprisingly, after a lot of deliberation, I ended up going with the movie that I enjoyed the most, and that was The Wolf of Wall Street. My man Scorsese, like you said, I don't think it's his best work, but I don't think he'll ever. I mean, for me, Goodfellas is like his Illmatic. It's definitely not his best work, but that's what I'm going to go with this year. I'm going to go with The Wolf of Wall Street.
But that's the thing, like Wolf of Wall Street. I definitely enjoyed the movie. I've watched it literally like 5 times. For those who realize that I watched it 5 times and I haven't been to the movies 5 times, kill yourself, because you know how I watched it. But I watched the movie several times, and
Barry Bonds did.
I totally enjoyed the movie. It's an amazing movie, yo. It's just that when again, getting nominated means a lot. I couldn't see any of these films winning, with the exception of Gravity, which probably will win because Gravity is terrible. But with that being said, for me, it's just that. And here's another thing. Here's another thing that I have to say about The Wolf of Wall Street. I read the book about 7 years ago. Like, you know, I actually read the book The Wolf of Wall Street. So a lot of times when you read a book and then watch the movie, you're always comparing it back to the book. You're like, they didn't do this, they didn't do that. Right. And my biggest issue with the movie, although I love the movie, was I didn't think they covered enough of his downfall. You know what I'm saying? Like, the movie was about him coming up, you know, going crazy, acting wild, but the after effects of everything that happened, and I guess the book, like, dug into that. But how long could you possibly make? The movie was already damn near 3 hours long. No, so you can't add another hour in going over his downfall. But to me, that's what was missing. But again, that's because I read the book, and he starts talking about what he lost and the relationship with his kids and how that affected him. So the book digs into that where the movie really doesn't. So for me, that's where. But again, like, it was an excellent movie, and I totally loved it.
Yeah, when you read books first, you definitely lose a lot.
Yeah,
in the Hollywood translation of things. that's why for me, Captain Phillips, I put that on a lower echelon. I enjoyed it. Captain Phillips was actually the first of all of these movies that I saw. I enjoyed the movie because it was a true story, so you kind of want to see how things went down. But then when you compare how they Hollywooded it up to how it really happened, and you also hear that a lot of people who really went through this are upset at the depiction, then you start kind of, taking points away from the movie a little bit. They kind of made Tom Hanks's character a hero in places where a lot of those guys say, he wasn't really the hero. So
they had him looking like Flint or Duke off G.I. Joe.
So I can admit, human nature. I started taking some points from the movie.
Yeah. So for me, that's kind of how it was with the Wolf.
The real.
But I love the Wolf. Like I love the Wolf because
I loved all of these movies. I liked Gravity, and I liked Captain Phillips a lot. But you could run down the list from there. American Hustle, Her, Nebraska, Philomena, 12 Years a Slave, and The Wolf of Wall Street. I loved all of those movies.
To me, the biggest surprise to me out of all of these, we talked about how Nebraska, which was a surprise, but I didn't think I would enjoy Philomena the way I did. I loved that movie. I think that was an excellent movie. I actually hope that wins. Anything but Gravity, y'all. If Gravity wins, I'm gonna be pissed. I can't stand Gravity. That was terrible. Why is that? Listen, the thing about it is, no disrespect to Sandra Bullock because she was in the movie damn near by herself the whole time. But after it was over with, I was like, why did I watch that? Like, I want my life back. I want that hour and a half of my life back. That's another thing. The movie was like an hour and 20-something minutes. You should have to be at least an hour and a half to get nominated. Like, come on, cuss.
Yeah, hour and 27 minutes. That's like a regular comedy length or something. It's like a Kevin Hart movie or something like that. Shout out to Kevin Hart. You knew your name will come up at some point.
Got to. Shout out to Philly, man.
Look, the 86th Academy Awards will be here this Sunday. Like we do in all of our sports videos. Look, first thing you guys have to do is subscribe to the channel. When you subscribe to the channel, then you know when we put out a video. And then when we throw you a curveball like an entertainment video instead of sports, you'll know that that's there. You can watch it. What we want you to do after that is click the like button on the video so we can get our likes up. Thumbs up. After that, we want you to leave comments. We want you to give us your picks on all of the categories that we covered here today. We also want to hear your opinions on our opinions. Tell us that we're wrong so we can go in the comment section and
nobody tell me you like Gravity. Don't let
tell us why Gravity is the front runner for the Oscar right now.
Other than Sandra Bullock having man.
All right, so look, we are movie heads here. So if any of you guys have any ideas for doing some other shows like this, if you guys want to review some movies, hit us up. WarRoomSports.com. Just click on that contact button. You'll see all of our contact information if you want to do something that's related to film, because we love film just as much as we love sports. Anything else you want to add, Jim?
Yo, man, not at all. Next time we need to do something for the TV shows too, man, because right now TV is killing the movies, to be honest with you. Although this was a great year for movies because I enjoyed like the best pictures, but TV is where it's at, B.
All right, that's what's up. Shout out to House of Cards. That's my new twist. Jimmy put me onto that too.
Wait till you get to season 2, King. Season 2. No, man. Nah, I'm gonna be quiet.
Like I said, if you think like Ride Along and stuff like that was the best movies you've seen recently, then you've just wasted I don't know however many minutes watching this video. But like we always tell you guys, don't accept mediocrity because we damn sure don't, and be steadfast in the war against ignorance.
We'll see you chumps on top.
Oscar night.
Kuwait is the war room with 5 nights at the round table. 5 Philly guys diversified and educated.